I think it's finally time to admit. I know I've made a lot of videos on how AI is not going to replace developers anytime soon. I'm not so sure anymore. I just personally, myself, I barely touch code anymore. That's actually true. For me personally, I've been a developer for about 7 years full time, and AI pretty much writes 99% of my code. I do sometimes have to go in still to make some minor updates, but for the most part, AI is writing all of my code. I did not think this was going to happen about, I don't know, a month ago, but then I really started experimenting with the AI tools out there, and I'm just personally blown away by what is possible. And just to really let you know what I'm talking about, I wanted to show you what my coding workflow looks like right now. What I have found is instead of having my code open most of the time, I now have cursor agent mode open most of the time. And almost the entire time, I'm just directing the AI on what to do. Now, when I first started trying this out, this wasn't really working for me. I kind of hated agent mode. I just found it went in and broke all my code. But then I started playing around with the add context feature. And what I found is when my context was structured and very relevant, the AI can really produce remarkable results. So this is an example app that it built after just a few tries. This is a working Perplexity clone app. I don't love how it looks. I'm gonna, in this video, ask the AI to update how it looks. The first thing I personally use is an extension called Fingo Context. If you go to the extensions section in VS Code or Cursor, whatever IDE you use, and you search Fingo, Fingo Context should appear. Once you download it, it makes it really easy to manage the context data you add to the context in an AI agent chat session. And so for this, I wanted to make it look better. And so I found this really cool open source NPM package called Assistant UI. It basically has pre-built components for AI chat sessions. In this train of thought, I gave it an introduction. I included the current code that I have in this project, specifically the relevant code. I don't want the AI to know everything in the project, just the relevant files. And one of the things I added was specific documentation from the assistantui.com website. And Fingo Context gets all the information from these URLs. And the way this works is once you click sync with project in the top right corner, it creates a Fingo context.md file that contains all of this information, including the information from the documentation. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I do during the day now. I'll start a new agent session. I'll add context and I'll look for this Fingo context.md file. I'll include that. Now all of this information will be included in the context of the AI. The AI will just know the information. I always make sure to turn on max mode just to make sure it uses all the data I give it in the Fingo context.md file without truncating it or anything like that. I switched to GPT-5 codex for more complicated tasks. Recently, I've been using Grok 4 fast reasoning just because it's so much cheaper and it actually does a pretty good job. But for really complicated tasks, I still use GPT-5 codex. It's just pretty amazing once you give it context data, what it can do. And one other thing I want to add to my context is my file tree. I forgot to do that. I want the AI to know the structure of my app, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in as well. Now, I'm just going to give it some simple instructions. I'll say something like, I don't like how my app looks. Use this NPM package instead, Assistant UI. And I just go ahead and let the agent start writing the code. And this has become my day. I primarily actually just do this. I wait for the AI agent to create the code, then I review the code. I might make some minor updates here or there, but if I notice a bug or something like that, I'll just tell the AI, hey, I noticed this bug, fix it. And most of the time it actually fixes it. And so I'll wait for this to finish and then I'll show you the end result, let you know what it created in the end. And while we're waiting, if you like this video, please make sure to like the video, comment. It really helps out with the algorithms. Let us know your experience with AI agents in the comment section below. All right, and we'll be right back. And I'll just come back in every once in a while. One of the things it realized is it did not see a particular package in the node modules. You'll notice in one of my text thoughts, I tell it to npm install missing packages if necessary. So that should be in the context. So I'm expecting it to download this npm package for me. It knows how to do that. And there it goes. It's asking me to run this command, if it's okay to run this command to install all the necessary packages to make the UI look better, I'm going to say run. Another thing I'll say here is that you'll notice sometimes these tasks might take up to 10 minutes. I have personally found myself being able to work on multiple projects at the same time. So while this project is running, writing the code, I'll pull up another project, direct the AI agent in that project what to do, and have another AI agent working on another project. It just really is getting crazy what's possible with AI agents. And with a context editor like Fingo Context, it can help ensure the results are without bugs, they're actually good, because you know it knows all the relevant information it needs to know to produce great results. While we're waiting, another interesting thing that I'll point out is that you'll notice that AI agents now they first create a to-do list and they take things one step at a time. In the past, AI tried to do too much too fast with these agent code editors, now built into a lot of them, but those kind of problems are starting to be resolved with things like to-do lists that the AI generates before going through the code. Another thing you'll notice sometimes is that it now runs its own tests. So it asks to run a test in the terminal to see if things are working as expected. And now that it's not, it's going in to fix whatever wasn't working. So that's another major improvement with AI agents. They can now run tests on their own code to see if it's working or not, to preemptively fix bugs. Now you can see it's starting to generate the code. One of the things I've noticed here too is that a lot of times I am tempted to not use GPT-5 codecs because it costs more. But anytime I use a less expensive model for complicated tasks, the results usually just aren't as good. A lot of times it's buggy and it doesn't really work as well. Whereas with GPT-5 codecs, it usually works the first time. And so I found the cost kind of evens itself out. You'll probably end up spending about the same for complicated tasks using a cheaper model like GPT-5 Mini, because you'll end up having to work with it over and over and over again to get it to work. And so I found it's just worth going with GPT-5 codecs with max mode turned on, again, for complicated tasks. For simpler tasks, things like Grok 4 fast reasoning have been surprisingly good for me. While we're still waiting, I also wanted to just show you how this Fingo Context extension creates this fingocontext.md file. I just wanted to show you how it's structured. You'll notice each of these are what are called thoughts. The thoughts are saved in a structured way to fingocontext.md, and you'll notice even things like links. Fingo Context will get all the content from those links and convert them into Markdown when it puts it inside of the fingocontext.md file. The reason is AI can read Markdown very well, so it's just very useful to convert everything into Markdown. All right, so it finished. I haven't looked at this yet. Let's see how it turned out. So the first version it came up with, I didn't really like how it looked again. So one more time, I just said, this looks terrible. I just want a simple AI chat component like what is on Assistant UI. And I feel like it did a much better job that time. This does look pretty cool, but I noticed it's not working anymore. And so I'm going to copy this error. I'll say this is not working anymore. I get this error. I did ask it to do a lot. Normally I would take things one chunk at a time. I wanted to see what it could do in this video, but I'll show you how this is how I'll normally debug as well. I showed it the error message from Next.js, and I'm also putting the error I got in the terminal, and let's see if it's able to fix it. Okay, so it says it fixed the bug. Let's go ahead and refresh the page and see if it works. And it looks like it did. I'm going to try out creating a new chat. That works. It says I can ask developer related questions. So I'm going to say create a to-do list app using React. Okay, and it looks like that is working too. And it looks like you're able to copy code. And there's a lot of little things here. If you haven't worked with AI components, you'll notice it didn't forcefully drag me down to the bottom of the page as it was generating. So this package actually is a good package. The results didn't look as good. You couldn't copy the code, but it looks like you can copy the code. You can paste it. And one more thing, now that this is actually working, and I might make another video where I focus on making this look even better. I think this looks pretty decent. From this point, I would probably come back here and maybe switch to Grok 4 fast reasoning because it's a lot cheaper, and then just focus on design. But as you can see, I didn't touch any code just then at all. The first version it made didn't exactly work and it didn't look very good. I said, "This looks terrible, fix it." That's the only instructions I gave it. Then it created something like this. And then I mentioned that this is not working and I gave it the error messages I got and it got it working. That has become my workday. I am able to get so much done. I do have to take some extra time engineering the context using the Fingo context extension. However, what I've personally found out is if I do a good enough job engineering the context data that I add to the add context in an AI agent like the Cursor AI agent, along with one of these reasoning models like GPT-5 Codex, it has actually gotten to the point to where AI can write pretty much all of your code. Now, I still think it's good to know how to code and know how to get your code to be secure. That's a big deal. I personally, because I've gone through this process for 7 years, I know how to make code secure. I know how to make authentication secure, how to add row level security using Supabase, things like that. And so the knowledge I have is still valuable. And so it's still good that I know how to code and know the process of development, production. However, my job really has changed from being primarily a developer to primarily being a highly technical product manager. And I can't believe I'm saying that. I have kept saying over the years that AI is not going to be able to write all of the code for you. I come across bugs all the time. Over the past month, since using Fingo Context, along with the better models that are just coming out right now, I'm saying that less and less. And so I think it may be time to admit maybe AI is going to be writing almost all code into the future. And maybe developers, instead of writing code, will be product managers, managing AI agents. Like I said, I've already found myself using multiple agents at once, working on multiple projects at once. What do you think the future of coding looks like? Do you think it's still smart to try to be a developer as a career choice? Let us know all your thoughts about this topic in the comments below. I'm genuinely interested. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.